our number one benefit, I think, is that we have small group instruction, that we can help each child. We know exactly where their needs are as they go from place to place. A secondary benefit is also that they get to work on their own, but they get to work with their neighbor and make that work together. Sometimes they have to work on a group of two, and sometimes they have to work on a whole team to make their activity work out.
Okay.
There is a lot of factors that go into my grouping decisions. There is data that I need to look at, the factors of who my children are, where they're coming from. Lots of information goes into making those groups. I start with my DIBELS data to see where my kids are at, where their learning is, but that's not the only thing. I will go ahead and look at their personalities. Another factor would be where are they in maybe their sight words. I look at them every 3 weeks when we go through progress monitoring, when I kind of see where they're at, the growth that they're making, and I switch up those groups.
Vowel, what sound is he making? I and I.
There's a lot of data in that, but it's a lot of how do I feel how they fit with another child. We start from the very beginning. The second day of school, we work just on transitioning from table to table. At that point, I don't have them in anything but a table group. We move from table to table without any activity on the tables first. I remind them what does it look like when we move. I give them clues. Where do their hands go? What should their mouth be doing? It's not easy in the beginning, but after a consistent practice of doing that, they know what direction they're going, who they're going to next, and the expectation of what they're supposed to be doing.
Look on the floor, thank you. And let's switch.
I introduce, before we go, the activities that are at the table. I introduce, if it's a new one, we all sit and listen to that. And we talk about it, making sure all their eyes, ears, bodies are turned to me. You have to be real careful when you introduce. Most of the time, I'll introduce at one of the teacher stations first so that they know what the expectation is for that activity before it moves to an independent table. And it may take 2 or 3 times at a teacher table before it could go, depending on the level and the depth of the activity. I think my best resource first is my DIBELS testing to see where they're at to start. Working with letter names and sounds to see where they're at on the kindergarten profile. I hope you saw some of that in here, especially at my table. You know, when the kids come in, there are things that I'm targeting for each group for that. It's kind of hard to do some differentiation on the independent tables, but I can always give the higher groups something that will connect with what they're doing, which you saw on the orange table.